I'm Jonah Tingman, and today we're going to be talking about contenders and pretenders of the NFL with Carson, George, and Zane. What are your thoughts, Carson?
Well, I think for a contender, it should be the Texans. Not only did they have an amazing season last season, they have new players like Stephon Diggs, and C.J. Stroud has more NFL experience, so he will play better. What are your thoughts, George?
Yeah, I agree with you, Carson. I think that the Chiefs could be a contender again, too. I know a lot of people don't like that pick, but they had a dynasty, and I still think they will do good this season. Zane?
I think that the Eagles are contenders. They had a powerhouse of a team last year, and they added new players to their roster and re-signed some studs on their defense.
I think the Baltimore Ravens are contenders. With a superstar QB like Lamar Jackson and an amazing defense, who wonders what they can do in the playoffs this year, especially since what we've seen from them in previous years. What are your thoughts on all these takes, audience? You, in the Walter Payton jersey.
You guys mentioned a lot of contenders, but do you think the Packers are going to be able to do as good as they did last season?
You know, that's a tough one to say because a QB like Jordan Love, we haven't really seen much of, and they're a very young team. So I think after the first couple weeks, we'll start to get a depiction of what we will see from them.
I could see them doing good in the NFC North, but I do not think they will make a run in the playoffs because they are just not a talented enough team to do that.
Spartans.
So y'all didn't mention a team that made the Super Bowl last year, the San Francisco 49ers. Do you think they're going to be able to contend for a Super Bowl next season or not?
I personally think they might be good, but I think as time rolls by, they're going to get worse and worse because they have a lot of guys asking for big money and a lot of guys that want to be star players on a team. For example, a guy like Brandon Ayuk that wants to be a number one wide receiver and isn't getting that stardom with Deebo Samuel, a guy that I think is too injury prone to be a number one receiver. You in the Jamar Chase jersey.
What do you think about the Baltimore Ravens next season? Because they traded for Derrick Henry, and last year they had the number one defense in the league. So with those two attributes, how do you think they'll do in 2020?
I think they'll do really good because not only do they have a really good explosive offense, they'll have an amazing defense. So they have overall a very good team.
How do you feel about the Cincinnati Bengals only getting Joe Burrow back healthy?
I personally think the Cincinnati Bengals are pretenders. They have made a lot of moves thinking that it's going to be a big difference, but not all their moves have been really good. They haven't really been flashy, as I would say. With this big running back market, all they did was lose Joe Mixon. I was shocked they didn't go out and get a new replacement.
Yeah,
Talking about pretenders, my pretender is the Los Angeles Chargers. They gave away their running back, gave away their star wide receiver, and their defense was never really there last year. That's why I think the Chargers are pretenders, especially with a good quarterback like Justin Herbert. And they did lose a lot of players and didn't really get any of them back.
Yeah, for my pretenders, I got the Minnesota Vikings. With Justin Jefferson, they think they're this all-star team with all these great players, but a lot of their players aren't that great. Like Jefferson, we saw what injuries did to him last year. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's skills are going to translate to the NFL, and their defense isn't that strong. What are your thoughts, Carson?
I think the Buffalo Bills, because not only did they do not that great last season, they lost their star wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. So I think they'll do really bad this season.
George?
I would say maybe the Falcons because they have a weird quarterback situation going on over there. They got Kirk Cousins off waivers, but then drafted another quarterback, which is kind of confusing.
Yeah, but I feel like the Falcons were never really contenders or pretenders. I feel like they're just a bad team.
I personally think the Falcons are going to win their division with a star running back like Bijan Robinson and a solid wide receiver core. But that will be all. Thank you for this episode on Contenders or Pretenders.
Toodles.